Hi everyone, it's Anne here from annshappystampers.co.uk and I'm just back with my normal Wednesday tutorial. And yesterday I put this screen card on my blog and shared it on groups and stuff, and quite a lot of people asked if I would do a tutorial on it. Now we're going to make one today, but we're going to make it slightly different to this. It's the same principle, but if you want to make this one, your cardstock would need to measure 5.5 inches by 11, and you would need to score it the same as what we're going to score the one we're going to make. And then basically once you've done that, you just fold it like that, then you fold that over there, turn it round and that back that way, and basically, you know, that's it. And you just put your decorative label on the bottom. This punch is not Stampin' Up, it's an EK Success punch, but loads of companies do border punches. And the very vanilla, you need 4 panels which measure 2.5 by 4 inches. Okay, so today I was just playing around when I was making that one. And what we're going to make is this one, which has got like more of a fancy fold, I suppose, and I just think it's fab. So it's the same 3 score lines. The only difference with this one is we put an extra score line in here and we cut it either side, and that's it. But this one is slightly bigger. It's still 11 inches long, but it's 6.5 inches tall. Okay, so I think once you can make that, you can definitely make this. So that's what we're going to make today, and they just fold up. Let me get it right. They just fold up. What? Doesn't want to fold now. Yeah, that's it. They just fold up like that, flat, so you can get them in a, you know, quite a reasonable sized envelope. So this one we are going to make in Dapper Denim. So like I said, this needs to measure 6.5 by 11. Now you're going to need 2 pieces of Whisper White, which are 4.25 by 2.5 inches. You're going to need 2 pieces, which I've already stamped these. These two are 4.25 by 1 1/8. And you're going to need 2 pieces. I've just got this one to stamp. 2 pieces which are 4.25 by 1 3/8. Okay. So we're going to start by scoring and cutting this. So if you take your trimmer, and what you need to do first is pop it in on the long side, and like I say, these scores will be the same as if you wanted to just make the other one. So you need to score score first at 2 3/4 inches. Okay, then go along to 5.5 inches and score. Then 8 1/4 and score. Okay, now turn it to the short side, and you've got a 1 inch there on the right. If you just line it up with there, okay, and then what you're going to do is, let us just check that I did this one. Yeah, so basically just score all the way from top to bottom. So you've got that, turn it round, line it up at 1 inch and just do exactly the same. Just score from top to bottom. Okay, so you should have that now. Okay, now what you want to do is pop it in your trimmer again on the long side and line it up at the 1.5 inches. Okay, and you just want to score in this middle section here. So from this score line to this score line, you're going to score. Okay, so you should have that, and that's just the extra panels that I said we need to pop in. So again, line it up at 1.5 and just score inside these 2 score lines here. Okay, so that's what you should have. It's actually very similar to the pop-up book fold card. Now we want to cut it, so pop it back in on the short side and line it up again at the 1 inch mark. And basically where you want to cut is, I've got the centimetres wrote down because the track's in centimetres. You need to cut from 3.8 to 24 centimetres, or you can just follow your line, so it would be from the first score line here all the way down to, can't see that, to the last little score line here. You would just cut from there to there. Okay, so I think that's probably easier because you're lining it up at 1, which will be on the same as your score mark, and then just get your cutting blade and cut from the first score line, the first inside score line you've got. Just cut from there all the way to the second one. So that is what you would have. You're just cutting in the inside. So from that score line to that score line, just cut. Then turn it round and do the same. Line it up at 1 and cut from the first score line to the very end. And that's what you should have. Like I say, it's very, very similar to the pop-up book card. So that's it for the cutting and scoring. Now I've got the decorative label punch, and I'm going to punch the bottom panels. So you've got 4 along here. If you just pop this in and just get it, you know, in between, get it level in between, and just take it down about 1/4 of the way and just punch. Okay, and just do that on all 4 panels. And I'm not going to put a top border in today, I'm just going to leave this one as it is. There we go, so that's what you should have there. Now we're going to fold and burnish this card. So it's basically the same as what I said before. If you just fold it over, okay, and just score the middle, and what do we do now? Yes, this score line here will be a mountain. So fold this up to a mountain, and then the next one to it will be, sorry, fold that to a valley, the next one is a mountain. Okay, so again it's the first one there is a valley, and just score the inside part, just burnish the inside part. And then the outside one is a mountain. Again, just burnish the inside. So that is what you should have now. Now, your little pieces here, the first one is a mountain. Then this one is a valley. Then a mountain. Okay, then the top bit here, again we have a mountain and a valley and a mountain, and then with a bit of luck what you want to be doing is the middle part here needs to go a mountain so that when you open it, it will stand up. And then to fold it, if you just fold it, just press it down like that, and then that will get it in the shape it needs to be as well, so that when you open it, it just opens up. Okay, so I think it's a really nice card, this. So now we're going to do our panels, and like I said, I've already stamped, so the two smaller ones are for inside here. Then I've got the outside pieces here, and I just need to stamp this one. So they're done in Dapper Denim, and I've used the stamp set, sorry I forgot to tell you, is Delicate Details and Avant-Garden. That's what we're using, and they're both free. If you spend £45 on my online shop, you can pick one for free. If you spend £90, you could have them both. So I've got the stamp mounted, and I've got some Dapper Denim ink. And I've got my little bit of Whisper White here. I'm just going to ink the stamp up. And I'm just going to stamp it along the sides. Okay, and then turn it round. And do the same. There we go, which I think is a really pretty effect. Really is a beautiful stamp set. Delicate Details, it's gorgeous. Excuse me. So I'm going to get some Tombow, and I'm going to stick these little pieces on here. Yeah, that's right. I think I'd stamped a couple of them in the wrong colour, so no, that's the right colour. Yeah. So make sure I put them on the right way. So if we just stick them down here, just gives it a nice bit of decoration, I think. I'm actually really pleased this week, as I've had 2 new people sign up with me, so I'm starting to build a nice team now, and I also have another lady who's signing up next week, so it's all good. So don't forget, if you would like to, you know, join my team, you're more than welcome. You don't have to demonstrate anything. Whoops, you can just purely join and enjoy your 20% discount. And you get to pick £130 worth of products for $99, and you get to choose 2 free extra stamp sets, so that's a fab deal. Right, so our 2 pieces for the middle, we'll stamp them before we put them onto the card. And what I did with the other one, let's get this one, was I've got the little flowers and the stalks mounted from Avant Garden, and what I'm going to do is stamp. So I'm using Dapper Denim, Pear Pizzazz, Sahara Sand and Soft Sky, and with the some Dapper Denim, I'm going to stamp some of this flower. I might stamp off, I think. No, I won't. I'm going to stamp a one about here. Then I'm going to stamp off like so. Yeah, I think that'll do actually. So I've got them stamped there, and then with Pear Pizzazz I'm going to come in with the little stalk. And I'm going to stamp the little stalks coming down. And I should have stamped the stalk in there, but I can just put a tiny bit on there. There we go. And then I've also got one of the little leaves mounted. I'm going to stamp them in Pear Pizzazz. That one didn't stamp properly. There we go. Just like that. And then I've also got the little I don't know, they're like little speckles. I'm going to take the Sahara Sand and I'm going to ink this up. Just check if I want to stamp off. No, it'll be okay. And I'm just going to dot these around. Just turn it round so I get like different effects. Yeah, that'll do. So that's one of our panels, and then the other panel, what I'm going to do for that is stamp the big flower here, which yeah, I think I'll do it in Dapper Denim again. Sorry about that, the camera shut off. So yeah, I'm going to stamp this one in Dapper Denim as well. Okay. Because I want a nice little sentiment at the top as well. So I'm going to stamp it about, virtually all of it on really. Stamp it there. Like so. And then the little leaves, I'm going to do them in Soft Sky this time. Just to change it up a bit. Beautiful colour. Yeah, I think that'll do for that. And then again with the Sahara Sand, I'm just gonna pop some of these along the bottom. There we go. And then for the top, I've got a little sentiment here, which is thanks for being you. And I'm going to stamp that in, I think I'll do it in Sahara Sand as well. Ink that up, and that is just going to go about there. There we go. So now we can, we can glue our two little panels on, and our card is virtually done. If I can get a hold of it. Oh, come on. So I'm going to have, whoops, that's upside down. I'm going to have this panel here and this panel here. And I think they look really, really pretty, especially this one. So we'll get some glue on here. And just make sure that's nice and central. And again on this piece. And I mean, obviously you can choose to decorate them however you like, or you could just do the same kind of thing I've done. It's entirely up to you. And how do we fold it again? I always forget. Yeah, that's right. And I think that looks beautiful. And I think just to finish it off, I have got some little pearls and well, I'm going to use rhinestones actually, and I might just pop a few little random ones around the card, just like little bits of bling. Yeah, and if I can get a hold of this one. There we go. And I think that is a really, really pretty card. And I think especially as well when it stands up, it just looks fab. I mean, you can't obviously see it very well from this angle, but yeah, would look great displayed. So I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial, and I will be back again on Friday with another Focus Friday. So don't forget, all the details will be on my blog. You can pop along there and also place an order if you would like to, and that's www.annshappystampers.co.uk. So thanks for watching, take care, and until next time, bye for now.